Anyways, I am back. Um, I do want to apologize right off the rip. I will be looking at my other monitor because I do have a few web pages open to sort of help me remember when I bought all these games and sort of what I paid for them and when I got them. Because there's quite a few games actually. About 95% I would say are PS5. There's one PS4 game in here, and there's four um, Switch games in here as well. So this is everything that I have bought within the last few months, basically. Um, so we're talking basically since April. I do also want to mention that I do have one game currently on order, but I don't have it yet because it hasn't shipped out yet. So that is a little bit of housekeeping, but I do have it coming. Unfortunately, it's not shipping, like I said, until end of the month. So it should be here by, I would say, October, sometime in October, at the earliest. So let's actually get the Switch stuff out of the way first. Yeah. So actually, I also need to do. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. I've ordered a bunch of different games recently, and so I do want to clarify where I bought it and sort of what I paid and stuff like that. But I'm also looking for the PS4 game, which is, where is it? Here's the PS4 game. Because, like I said, most of these games are PS5. There's some Switch, like I said, and then there's one PS4 game sitting behind me as well, which I bought within the last few months, basically. So, let's actually start. So, like I said, so the one I bought back in April, I think it was April. I actually can't remember. I hate Limited Run's website. Yeah, so I ordered this game, which is Doom and Doom 2 for Switch, because I did have a choice between Switch, PS5, or Xbox. I chose Switch because at the time in April, I didn't have the PS5. I didn't get the PS5 until August 1st, by the way, and I'm recording this on September 6th. So just over a month, basically, that I've had the PS5. So, yeah, I do want to say that I do have Doom 2 coming. And I also do have one of the games sitting behind me. I have its sequel ordered as well, and I will get to that game here momentarily. So first up, we have a couple games. It was a double pack from Super Rare Games out of Europe. I actually don't have a lot of European rated games. I think I have a total of 3 in my entire collection for Switch. Actually, in general, I don't have a lot of Europe games. So we first have, nope, it is this, here we are. Both sort of visual novel type of things. We have Monster Road Trip XXL and Monster Camp XXL, both of these. They are 107 and 108 respectively, so they are numbered. And at I ordered these in August. And they still have some availability left of it as of recording. They don't have a lot left. They have about 3% stock. They had, I think, 4,000. 4,000 copies total. So I have very low numbers. Like I said, I have numbers 107 for Monster Camp XXL and 108 for Monster Road Trip XXL. You can get all the games I'm going to show you digitally as well on their varying platforms. But again, I do like to have physical copies. And this was not cheap. I think these totaled were about 150 at the end of it. Because I had to pay import on top of what the base price was. So about 150 bucks for both. I will say what I paid for everything with import. So these were about 150 bucks. Do I recommend it? I don't really know. Haven't really played them yet. Just wanted to grab them before they became out of stock. Next we have one actually that I ordered in I think this was June, I think. Yeah. June 29th, I ordered this, which was a visual novel, A Piece of Blue Moon Glass. This is actually the Asian version, because this is the only version that I know physically that has English on the cartridge. And with all of my imports, specifically visual novels or pretty much anything, I wouldn't have English on, or have an English option. If there's English subtitles or if it's fully playable in English, that just makes my life a heck of a lot easier. This one was also not cheap, and there were some issues getting it. So, like I said, I ordered it June 29th, so literally a few days after buying my Switch 2, I ordered this game. And I sort of do that in sort of certain circumstances because I know some visual novels can get very, very expensive. I have a couple in my collection that are like well over $100, which is like stupid for a visual novel. Like Nurse Love Obsession, for example, is like $100 visual novel, which is ridiculous. That visual novel was about 116 bucks at the end of it, because of import. So base price was about 95 bucks, and then about 30 something dollars of import. So, like I said, there were some issues with it, getting it. So when I ordered it in June, it should have been here early July, like July 7th to the 11th, I believe is what they originally quoted. But unfortunately, around that time, I sent them an email because I gave them an extra week thinking, okay, maybe it's stuck in shipping or whatnot. And I basically said, hey, like, this is the order number. Like, what's going on here? Like, it should be here by now. At this point, it had been 3 weeks. And I like to give benefit of the doubt most of the time. But when it becomes 3 weeks since I ordered something, it's like, okay, what's going on? And they got back to me fairly quickly, unlike some other companies I've bought from recently. Um, and they basically said, "Hey, we're so sorry. We know that you want an update and stuff." And basically, what happened was, um, it was out of stock, so they were trying to get stock in from other suppliers. And there's also some other things going on that they couldn't control. I know what those things are because they revealed those things to me, but obviously I'm not going to reveal it. And by any means, like, this is not me working with them or having any affiliation with Play Asia, where I bought a piece of Blue Moon glass. It's just me getting some info on why the order took so long to arrive. So it finally shipped out August 7th and it arrived, I think, on the 19th, so fairly quickly. I haven't really had a full chance to play it. I did get into sort of the quote unquote main menus and stuff like that, just to make sure it has English and stuff like that, which it does, in cutscenes and stuff, so who knows, we might play that on the channel. And I do buy certain visual novels because they're either very popular, hard to find, or can get very, very expensive, i.e., a piece of Blue Moon glass. And a couple, like I said, I have in my collection, which you'll actually see most of those in the year-end video, which is, I think, going to be like sometime in December, actually, with everything that I've bought physically. So for Switch, PS4 if there's any, PS5 if there's more stuff for PS5, which there might be a little bit, but yeah. So there's that one that has been ordered and been finally delivered. I did finally order Pokemon Sword, because that was the last Pokemon game I needed in the collection before Pokemon ZA comes out in October. There's still technically two others I still need, Dungeon DX and Pokken Tournament, but I'm not really concerned about those ones too much. But I'll pick those up when I have the chance, basically. But I did want to get Pokemon Sword in the collection, so that one has been. So I ordered that in June, June 30th. I ordered it, and it was delivered July 1st. So there's that one. The other game that I've ordered, and actually I have copies of sitting behind me, you can sort of see the top one in this pile over there, is Coffee Talk double pack. So this, again, I ordered from Amazon, which I don't really use Amazon that often. But this was literally the only place I could find it at a decent price. So I ordered it July 13th, and it came like 10 days later. And it still says parcel may be lost, but I have it, so I have to figure that one out. This was not cheap by any means, but it was cheaper than what Amazon was asking for just the first game. Just the first game alone, they were asking roughly like 112 at the end of it, and I'm like, no, it's not worth that. So I found the double pack from Europe, actually. It actually came via Deutschland, or Germany. So it was total at the end of it. I didn't actually have to pay import, which was kind of odd. It was like $68. So I was like, okay, $68 for both. That's actually pretty reasonable. So yeah. So it comes with the I point out here the download code for the soundtrack. The codes are on the other side, so I'm not reviewing those. But it wouldn't matter if I revealed them because I have codes for the other versions sitting behind me. But yeah, so Coffee Talk 1 and 2. And yeah, yeah. So now I need to find, is it? Where is it here? It is this order. Ah, yes. So, oh, actually, I'll do the PS4 one first, which is it in this? Yes. I'll do the PS4 one next, and then we'll start working our way through the PS5 games. So, I've been curious about Immortal Phoenix Rising ever since it came out, but I could never. I didn't want to spend what it was originally worth. Let me put it that way. Right. So, when I saw that Video Games Plus, who, by the way, I've used for, I would say, a few of my few of my Switch games were from them, but a majority of my Switch stuff is from PlayAsia. I just want to say that straight up. I've probably spent like over $1,000 easily on just games from PlayAsia. But most of the PS5 games, about 95% of them, were from Video Games Plus. Again, no affiliation whatsoever. Very good company to buy from. Very quick shipping. Some of these games came within like 24 to 48 hours of me ordering them. This was one of them. This was actually just a throw in to make the well, actually not even to make the price work, because sometimes I'll throw in some extra games just to get free shipping. Unfortunately, this wasn't in that particular case. So this was actually on sale. So this was when I ordered it, it was $9.99.99, so $10 for this game, and it was brand new too. There is a PS5 version, but you have to put in your disc to play the PS5 version, so kind of stupid that way. So yeah. Now I should also talk about one of these games, because then I can talk about something else from them. Finally ended up picking up High on Life. This was done by Limited Run earlier in the year. I did have an opportunity earlier when it was available to buy it, but never ended up doing it. I was hoping it would come to retail. Never ended up coming to retail as a used copy or whatnot. I was actually going to import it, and then I was like, let me check Video Game Plus, see if they had it. They did. And it was actually cheaper. I didn't have to pay import. Came within like 2 to 3 days of me ordering it, which was actually fairly quick. Yeah. And I also, at the same time, I also ordered its sequel. So I do have the sequel to High on Life coming. That is shipping June 20th to 31st of next year. So that will be one of the new PS5 games coming next year. So that's already been ordered. And that was actually expensive. That was oops, I can't there. That was $113 basically for that game, shipped with the conversion. It was $81.35 US. I don't live in the US. I live in Canada, so it was basically $113 at the end of the day. Is it worth it for that game? Debatable. The only reason why I did it is because the PS5 version was limited to just 2,000 copies, and it sold out as of this video. So pre-orders went live for it all the way back in August, so last month, August 19th to September 21st. If you do want a collector's edition, they still do have collector's editions available for PS5, Xbox, and PC. But if you they are not shipping until, at least for the PS5, they're not shipping until June. Xbox is shipping same in June. PC is June of next year. So which really means you won't be getting them until like mid next year. So I just went with the standard. And for the standard, they only have Xbox available. Luckily enough, I jumped on and pretty early within like the basically after pre-orders went live. I jumped on and got a PS5 copy. So I do have a sequel coming. The sequel coming. Because I didn't want to miss being able to get one. So yeah. So the Xbox ones aren't limited. But the PS5 ones are limited for some reason. I don't know why. But they still do have orders for in terms of collectors for PS5 as of recording. So if you do want one, and the only way to get one for PS5, and you want it physically, you have to go with the collectors, unfortunately. But for the collectors, the PC version is not a physical disc; it's a download code. But for for PS5 and Xbox, it's a physical case like this. Yeah. So there's that. So I do have this finally. I do need to play this before the sequel comes. The other thing that I do want to talk about that one was from Video Games Plus. This one wasn't from Video Games Plus. This was from Best Buy, and I wasn't originally going to buy Doom: The Dark Ages, but when I ran the math in my head, I was like, the math actually makes sense because it was $20 off. So instead of spending well over 100, roughly. What? How much is it, anyways? Oh, that's actually not a bad price. Actually, I should jump on that actually at some point. Yeah, it's $89.99. And I paid at the end of it. I paid I think $79. So, yeah, so not too bad. For that. For basically for the brand new Doom. So not too terrible. Not great, but decent, shall we say. The other one I do want to talk about quickly before we get into the big stack here is this game, Luna Knights. So it's sort of a Metroidvania style game, and I wasn't really going to buy it because like most of the games I play aren't Metroidvania. I do have a few in here that are sort of Metroidvania. I do also have Silksong and Kirby. What is it here? But those are digital for Switch. I do want to mention that. It is Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star-Crossed World. I do have that bundle digitally. So I do want to mention those as well. So typically, when I buy a game for pretty much any console, PS5, Xbox, Switch, PC, I always like to see gameplay and stuff of it, like a fair bit of gameplay. Unfortunately, with the game that I just showed, Luna Nights, the content creator for the channel I watch, Physical Paradise, didn't really show much of it. I think he showed only like 10 to 20 seconds of gameplay. I thought, you know what, I'll check it out. And when I ordered it, so keep in mind, like, I ordered this August 11th, and it came within like 2 days of ordering, and it was supposed to release that Friday. And it's, as of right now, as of recording, it is sold out on Video Game Plus's website. So yeah. Excuse me. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. For $57 at the end of it, including taxes and shipping, I was like, you know what? And they only had, I think, 5 copies available at the time that I ordered it. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it. Comes with some weird art cards as well. I think. No, sorry, that's another game I'm thinking of. Yeah, so full, proper, old school manual, reversible artwork, cover art, I should say. So, yeah, I was like, you know what, I'll try it. And now I think we get into all of the games from Video Game Plus. Some of these games, when I ordered them, were on sale, and some of them were not on sale. I do want to mention that. And this is the largest order I've ever done. Not just from Video Game Plus, but in all my time buying games online, which has been about, I guess, since like 2019, 2020, I guess. Basically since COVID. I typically don't buy a lot of games online. I would just buy digital at that point then. But again, a lot of these games I do want to have physically. So, yeah. So, most of these I did in one big order. Yeah. Oh, actually, there's another one here that wasn't from Video Game Plus. It was also from EB Games in this case. And that was Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. I now own multiple different versions of Last of Us. I own it all the way back to PS3. I own both versions on PS4, and now I own both versions of it on PS5, as well as their digital versions as well. And you might be thinking, then why do you have physical copies? Just in case if those licenses, for some bizarre reason, disappear, I can walk to my shelf and grab the physical disc. That's why I always buy physical. And I didn't pay that much for it. I think I paid, because this was actually used, I think I paid something like $60 for. So I'm like, you know what, for $60, why not? I was going to buy it anyways, so I do want to mention that as well. It was actually bought the same day as I bought Doom Dark Ages, actually. This was actually the first one I bought that day. So those are sort of the single games order, except for the one that I bought. There's actually another. Actually, let's do that. So, Last of Us Part 1. This was ordered alongside this. So this was actually the throw-in to try to get free shipping. This was the one I meant to buy, because I had waited a while to actually buy it from Video Game Plus. It was finally back in stock. They sent me an email, and it was actually on sale when I ordered it. So instead of it being $89.99, I think I paid like $50 for it. I think I saved like 50%. What did I actually pay for it? Yeah, I paid like $45 for it, $39.99. Um, yeah. So now this is the last version of Last of Us that I needed. So yeah, so these two were ordered together. So now we start off with the big list. So this is 8 games at once. So meaning this is a very, very large, very expensive order. Typical orders for me would range around, depending on what cost of the games are themselves, would typically range about 100 to like $200, typically, like under 200. This was over $300. 300 and I'll reveal the price at the end, but it was over $300. I'll tell you that much. Yes, and we are going to go in order of what basically like top down. I actually have both windows open. I have a Google Note open with what the game is, what I paid for it, if it was on sale, what it was typically, and all that sort of stuff. So first up, we have Kenna Bridge of Spirits. This is the deluxe edition. So I thought, you know what, for $30, I'll grab it. I think if I remember correctly, this was a launch title for PS5, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But for $30 for the deluxe, I was like, why not? Then we have, where is it here? Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. This one was sort of a risk, one of two ways. I didn't like what I paid for it. It was more than what I wanted to pay for it, and it's a Ubisoft game. But I ended up buying the Ultimate Edition pretty recently because I wanted to basically, if I traded it off, I wanted to still potentially be able to play it, right? So I thought, you know what, I'll buy it again, and I think I got a pretty good deal on it as well. I just can't remember what I paid for it. Yeah, I paid $57 for it. So literally, I paid a couple bucks more than what I did for the standard. So this was $54.99 is what I paid for it. It is typically a $70 game, so I saved 15%. And I did end up buying the Ultimate for not much more. So if I do want to trade this off, I can, because I do have a digital version which has my save file. So yeah, not much playtime on the disc actually. So yeah. Next we have an Atlas game, Soul Hackers 2. Again, very curious about this game. Didn't pay a whole lot for it. I actually got a very, very good deal on this game. And keep in mind, like, all these games were ordered August 4th, by the way. So, Kenna Bridge of Spirits, Avatar, this whole 8-game list was all ordered the same day. All ordered August 4th. So, really weird sort of um, game. I was like, you know what? I'll try it for like $10. If it sucks, it sucks. So I saved $70 there. Again, it does come with art sleeves, I think. Oh, art cards, basically, sort of like art card type of thing. So yeah, so I was like, you know what, for like $10, I'll try it. If it's crap, it's crap. I didn't spend a whole lot for it. Next we have Fresh Start, which is, I would say, very similar to Power Wash Simulator. So from what I can tell, haven't really played it at all, actually. I might actually play this tonight, actually. Yeah, so this was on sale. So it's typically $39.99. I paid $19.99. So I was like, you know what? For $20, I'll try it. Yeah. And then we get into game this. So now we get into the last game that was actually on sale. So Fresh Start was $20 off. So instead of it being $39.99, I paid $19, like I said. Next we have everybody's favorite, Stray. I did mean to pick this up for, I think it was Switch, I think. But I wanted it for PS5. And when I saw it was like $10 off, instead of it again being $39.99, I paid $29.99. So not too bad. Yeah, so comes with art cards and stuff like that in it. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'll grab it. So now we get into the next 3 games that aren't on sale. Meaning I paid full price for them. So we have actually, I'll go in the order that I wrote them down. Coffee Talk, Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. This is actually part of the single shot edition. So it's just base game with a keychain, the soundtrack download, and some stickers. That's it. So I did want to pick this up because I couldn't for the life of me be willing to spend over $100 just for the first game on Switch. So when I saw it was 54, for the second one, I was like, you know what, I'll add it. And then for the and then also I picked up the first one as well, also 54, again, single shot. So again, it comes with the soundtrack, download, the same keychain, and the same sticker and download for the soundtrack. So yeah, so here's what the disc looks like for this one. And for the episode 2, this is what it looks like. And you might be wondering, will you be getting Coffee Talk Tokyo? Yes, I will be. I just don't know when it comes out. Lordy, I just don't know when it comes out. So both of those, again, were $54.99 each. And then Astrobot, because why not? This was full price again of $80 or $79.99. There's what the disc looks like if you haven't seen the disc. Excuse me. So this entire 8-game stack that I showed you was a total with tax was $378.47. Yeah, most expensive order I've ever done. But that's not it, actually. There are a couple other games I have ordered, which have actually now arrived. They arrived Thursday, actually. So I ordered these August 31st, so very end of August. And actually, I do need to grab a couple things from the shelf behind me. Give me a sec here. Where is it here? Ah, here it is. So here is an original copy of Lollipop Chainsaw. It's just printed artwork, unfortunately, because when I bought this years ago, it was just the disc, disc only. I think I paid like $5 for the disc, and I'm like, hey, that's fine. So lucky enough, I had a spare 360 case, but I didn't have artwork, so I had to print it. I hate doing that. Then we had Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. This is actually the one from Limited Run. This is the one that I ordered August of last year. They only made 248 copies for standard, for Switch. If you look very, very closely, 248. So, very last one that was printed. And again, trying to make the math work. I picked it up on PS5. Yes. And this is numbered 111. So this was the last one that was printed, supposedly. Because who knows, right? And then I finally picked up Cult of the Lamb. So these two were ordered same day, same time. So these were actually ordered together. So I'd always meant to pick up Cult of the Lamb, originally in the original 8-stack of games, but for some reason it either slipped my mind or it was sold out at the time. So when I did this order, like I said, which was August 31st, this was the last one that they had. So I was very, very happy to snag it. And if I remember correctly, I don't think it's that bad of a trophy list. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know what other games. I do have a couple games still that I'm looking at right now, which I'll talk about. So we have Gris, which I do have sitting in my Switch collection behind me. We're looking at Full Metal Schoolgirl, which is an Asian import. Star Overdrive. And Slay the Spire for Switch. So those are the four that I'm looking at right now, but that order is quite expensive, almost $200. So unfortunately, Full Metal Schoolgirl, which I'm looking at, is not coming out until October. So I might end up ordering it once it's back in stock and have a little bit more budget. But yeah, there's a few games in here that I'm curious about. Obviously, I know what Gris is. I've played it already on the channel on Switch for you guys, but I'd like it on PS5 so then I can earn the platinum. Same with Star Overdrive as well. So there's a little bit in here that may change around in the next little bit, but those are sort of the four games I'm still currently looking at for PS5/Switch at the moment. Yeah, so that is every single brand new Switch, well, PS4, Switch, and PS5 game that I currently have and have ordered. Like I said, Doom and Doom 2 is coming. That should be here, like I said, sometime in October. Realistically. I am looking at getting Pokemon ZA in October. I'm not sure if I'm going to pre-order it or whatnot. I haven't seen if there's any good pre-orders. But I'm going to try to pick it up day one. I still need to figure out budgets and stuff like that at the moment. And then obviously, like I said, with this game right here, High on Life, I have its sequel coming. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, um, super happy with how the PS5 collection is coming after just over a month. And this is just, by the way, the physical collection. I do have some decent games digitally. If you want to see that side, please leave a like, comment down below that you want to see what I have digitally, and I'll go through that at some other point as well. Like I said, you'll see again these games sitting behind me again later, but I thought, you know what, after a month of ownership of the PS5, I better show what I have physically. So, anyways, adios.